Top of the morning to you. I hope you're all fine and dandy and staying ahead of the game. Remember, it is a game, and each one of us must play our part. Welcome. Hello. I hope everybody's good, and I hope everybody's keeping ahead of all of this. What a world, eh? Spinning world. What a world we live in. So today I am going to do something different again. It's a journey here. Each one of us on a journey, and it's the same for me. I'm on this long road of discovery, and what I have here in front of me today and what I'm going to talk about today is the alignments, ley lines, standing stones, as above so below. And what we're looking at here is Google Earth Pro, my Google Earth Pro map, which I now have installed on a new PC, which allows me to map the ley lines and the standing stones that I have been visiting over the last 10-15 years. And the reason why I've been mapping or visiting the standing stones is because, or the standing stones, is because I've been mapping alongside the valleys and the hills, the standing stones and the heavens above, and seeing how our ancestors understood the landscape which we have now. And the result of that, and many years of wandering the lands and seeing the land for myself, I have now been able to put together this map of how the heavens are laid out over Scotland. And of course, these are only some of the ley lines. If we look to the side here, on my list here, there are so many unticked boxes, so many ley lines that I haven't even put into this map yet, that I am still working on. And I get a lot of people saying to me, I live in such and such a place and I've just bought a flat, or I know somebody who's just moved into such and such a place and I feel the energies there. Can you tell me where the ley lines are? And I wish I could. I mean, this map is showing just some of the ley lines, but you could have another million lines on this map, because ley lines are energy, and energy doesn't travel in straight lines. These paths here, which I am mapping, is really just the alignment of standing stones. So, but the standing stones themselves are aligned to the heavens, and then also aligned to each other over the UK. So you have the Callanish standing stones. Over here you have the Orkney standing stones. Down here you have Northern Aberdeen, just next to Cygnus the Swan. You have at, I can't remember the name there, it's not Buttery Hill, it's Skelmuir Hill. A bunch of standing stones and cairns, and that's an alignment of stones just south of Edinburgh. And this makes up the shapes that we see, but this is not ley lines as such. It's just the alignments of the stones and the shape that they create over the United Kingdom, the British Isles. So you'll see on here, the reason why I began with this map is you'll see here that I have actually all the constellations on this map now. So we can see that at the border here we have the river Eridanus, we have the cusp of Orion over Arran. In fact, the name Arran, it's there, Aron. Or is light, so the god of light, the god Orion, Orion's belt is the light that goes through above the river Eridanus. And the river Eridanus, to the Greek, was the river that sat below Mount Olympus, and Mount Olympus would sit a few about 50 to 80 miles behind the Eridanus River, and it had a view down over, according to the Greeks. And so you see here we've got Orion, and we've got Cetus the beast, also known as the Kraken, also known as the Leviathan. And I'm going to speak about what I know so far. You know, we have Canis Major, we have the Argus Navi, which many people have heard me speak about. So what I've actually done now is I've put all the standing stones in, and all the standing stones are representing all these various signs. So if you go to Inverness up here, you will have Hercules and standing stones that are aligned to Hercules. And not only that, what I'm hoping to show here, this is basically just an update to what I've learnt now. I've moved on quite a bit since, and learnt quite a lot since the Bar in the Heaven videos and other such videos. So this is sort of bringing the new knowledge that I have together to be able to show you what's over the UK and how it all ties together. And it's going to be a bit of a mind bender for anyone who doesn't have any understanding of the constellations and alignments and standing stones and what the purpose of all these things are. But if you bear with me and continue watching, watch over, listen again, and what I'm planning to do here, listen again and again, but because what I'm planning to do here is give a rundown, a complete rundown of what all these parts in the heavens are. So we're going to go on to Stellarium software at some point, and we're going to look at the heavens and how they move. But before we can do that, what we need to do is look at the map that I've put together, and just have a look here and familiarise yourself with what has been mapped out on the standing stone. So remember, these are not, some of them are physical energy lines and ley lines that do travel up and down. For example, the spine of Albion is clearly the main spine, and energy of the Kundalini energies go up and down the spine. But not all of these are straight energy lines carrying energy from one bit to another. Although, in some of them, buildings have been erected and towers have been erected, joining from one line to another, to another, to another, all the way down the country, such as this line here that goes all the way down past Whitby and so on. And Whitby is a very important place. But anyway, we don't want to get lost here. What I want to, the main purpose of this is to give an introduction to this map with the titles of the asterisms on this map, so that people can see exactly how the areas of Scotland, for now, I will show later on England. This here in the heavens manifests 3 times over the United Kingdom. So in the north of Scotland, which is the North Celestial Pole, the very top of heaven, and I'll get into that, in this area it is mapped out, and then over in this area it's mapped out in central England, and then again 3 times. So it's represented 3 times in the heavens, and there is a reason for that. In the Greek, you had a trinity of 3 virgin deities who represented the sort of entrance to the Elysian fields, to the Sea of Dreams, or the Field of Dreams. And these 3 virgins, the goddess Athena, Demeter, was it? I think there's 3 virgins anyway, I can't remember now. This is the same as the 3 heavens, the 3 virgin realms we must pass through. And Catherine, or Saint Catherine of the 1st century of Alexandria, or the 3rd century, sorry, Alexandria, the real Alexandria can be mapped by the heavens and be shown where that by the heavens. It's all connected to this part of the heavens, but I don't want to get lost here, and there's so much, but what we're looking at is the River Eridanus, and the River Eridanus is the great river that sat below Mount Olympus, and it carried down into the underworld. and it was the route down into Hades, or the River of Hades. So, and the Argus Navi was the ship that carried you down, which sits over this entire area. Very interesting, actually. I'm going to go on about the Argus Navi, and I'm going to look at Cetus the Beast and other things, the Kraken, in more detail, and I'll put individual videos up for that. But, pardon me, what I'm saying just now is we just familiarise ourselves where the constellations are. You have Canis Major, Canis Minor, Cetus the Beast, Cetus the Beast again, the Star Difter. Pisces is over central Scotland. Aries is over Edinburgh, which most people who follow my work should know this by now. The Pleiades is over the area known as Fife. And of course I get people coming and saying, well, the heavens move and they change. Yes, they do, but there's a specific area throughout the year that certain constellations move overhead in particular, and yes, we can see them all the way down the country and all the way down even into the tip of Africa. You're looking up, you can see so much of the constellation, but it drops below the horizon. And this area here in Scotland is, or Scotland itself, when you get so far up the United Kingdom to Tynecastle and so on, you begin to see time, and that's why it's called Tynecastle. You begin to see time in its fullness, where what I mean by that is that the full canopy of the heavens, the full arc of the heavens never disappears, and you can see the full story in the sky. It never disappears below the horizon. And so this is how our ancestors knew how to keep time, and this was the timepiece, the centre of all creation really, and our ancestors marked it with the standing stones. So what we're going to do now is, you can see here the House of Cephas. Everybody should be familiar with that. Draco, Cygnus the Swan is the Peterhead's Fraserburgh area. Hercules, as I just looked at just a moment ago, is the Inverness area, and Corona Borealis, Lupus the Wolf, and Virgo and the Crux. So the important thing, there's many important things, but the important thing that I've just realised there, which I should talk about, is Virgo. You must be born of above, and the Crux, so the Southern Cross, where you're crucified, and the spine of Albion is the ley line which we would travel between worlds. And as we would travel up over the river Eridanus, which takes you down to Hades, we're coming out of the river of death and into life, into the river of life. And this is what I've been trying to show people for a long time. We have Dublin, the river Liffey. We have the Levi, or the Leven, the river Leven, which is the word Levi. We have the river of Leith, and we have Loch Leven, and all this. This is the river of life, the river of life, this area here. Once you leave the river of death, which is represented in the heavens by the river Eridanus, and I'll show that in the software, once you leave there, you come up into, oh, sorry about that, the river of death. Quite interesting. Catherine just popped up there. I was just speaking about Catherine a few minutes ago. St. Catherine, and these reptilian lords who rule over us, they're in the paper because they're following the movement of the stars, and St. Catherine will also stand on the Remembrance Sunday at the centre path, and there's a reason for that. The centre path aligns with this here and connects with St. Catherine of Alexandria. She is actually imitating the role of St. Catherine of Alexandria, who is a true historic figure. But that is something else I am looking into at the moment, and I'm studying, and that is for another date. But I mentioned that because I clicked on accidentally, and Catherine of Orange, Catherine Windsor appeared there. So, and there's a reason why she's in the news today. It's all to do with the movements in the heavens, and she is connected to St. Catherine, and St. Catherine of Alexandria, who was martyred for her belief, and it wasn't really for her belief. She was a Druid, and she was speaking about the Essenes, and she was a supporter of the Essenes and was accused of being a Christian, and so she was martyred for being a Christian. But that's another story. It's all tied to this three virgins that I just spoke about, Athena, Demeter, and I can't remember the third one, but the Celtic people had this idea of the bride and the three as well. And yeah, so I have mapped, we have it all over the constellations mapped all over the UK. So what I'm going to do now is jump to this Stellarium software, which everybody should be quite familiar with now. And you can see here, right in the centre, we've got Ursa Major. And I put this calendar to the 12th of the 12th, 2023, so it's just the 12 days of Christmas. And the reason why is because I get a lot of people saying I don't understand how the heavens move and what you're trying to say. I don't understand what the three heavens are, or the three realms are. I don't understand what the North Celestial Pole is and why you're telling us it's Eden. So I'm going to try and explain that. But one of the biggest things that people do have issue with is they have no understanding of the movements, or even the direction of the movements of the heavens. So what I'm going to do is I'll put it to the 12th of the 12th, 2023, and what I'm going to do is just run through day by day. We're at 17, down here it's telling us it's 1745. Forget this Julian day and all that, this is just the time. So it's 1745, and we can see it is dark already. Now you've got an option here where you can put in the land and take away the land. So that's the land put in, and that's the land taken away. So the stuff underneath there, you can see this is the ecliptic underneath. This here is the North Celestial Pole, and anybody who's looking at this should be able to see the arc. Okay, so the arc in heaven is here, and you have Aquila, the fox, you have Cygnus the swan, you have Cephas and Cassiopeia, Perseus, Taurus, and there's Orion down here. So Orion on the 12th of the 12th, 2023 is, and usually about this time at Christmas, December time, at Christmas time, he's on the horizon. He's sinking below the horizon. So one thing I want to make clear as we move through the heavens, and bear in mind this map that I've just showed here and how all these things are. You can always go back to this and look at the heavens, and then go back to this, and then you'll see how things move over the United Kingdom. It's very difficult trying to piece all this together and present it, and it's much easier to present it when you go to the standing stones, because the standing stones have these stories which are in the heavens written on them. It's just a case of deciphering the stories, and then deciphering why the standing stones or mounds or whatever are on certain embankments. Why are they there? And once you know the stories in the heavens, then you begin to understand that the standing stones are like a map or a roadway for pilgrims. The pilgrims would read the signs on the stones, read the signs in the heavens, and they knew what direction they were to go. So, and this is how the standing stones were laid out all over the world, I presume, but that's certainly how it seems to be in the United Kingdom and the British Isles. So what we're looking at over the British Isles is Polaris. Right here, the little bear, Ursa Minor, and this is the centre of heaven, Polaris. Now Polaris is what I've been telling people, and what it is the tree of life. Here is the tree of life, and this is the North Celestial Pole. And the North Celestial Pole, as I'm away to show, is a circle, a divine circle. And that divine circle is the council of the Elohim. And the seven lights of creation, which of course are Ursa, Draco, Hercules, Cephas, Cassiopeia is part of Cephas, but Cygnus the swan, Lyra, and Aquila. These are all asterisms that move in, and of them there are seven lights which are permanent, which move around the North Celestial Pole, and these are the seven lamps of the menorah. These are also represented in Islam as the Kaaba stone, the Polaris itself. The word Kaaba means the pole star. So Polaris and Mecca represent this pole star here, and of course if you know anyone who is Muslim, they journey to Mecca for the Hajj at least once in their life, and when they go there they go round in an anti-clockwise direction, throwing stones 7 times. They circle around in an anti-clockwise direction, throwing stones at the 360 gods, pagan gods, who refuse Allah's instruction or command. And of course this is the 360 degrees, the circle, which is the North Celestial Pole. And all the religions are created from the stories and the heavens and the traditions and the hidden knowledge which is over the United Kingdom. And you know, all faith and all trust and all belief comes from the tree and the North Celestial Pole at the very tippy top of heaven. And Polaris here is the tree of life. And there are 3 levels, as I have mentioned, and if I remove the ground again, you will see that this level here in the middle, where we have Scorpio, Libra, Virgo, Leo, Cancer, so on, you've heard me so many times, this here is the ecliptic. So if I take the land away again, put it back again, you will see this is the North Celestial Pole, this is the tree of life, okay, and I will take it away, and this is the ecliptic. So this is the part that we do not see in the winter. You can see it, these are the houses, and this is the tree of life, and down here is the 3rd heaven, which is the underworld, where we have the Eridanus, the Argus Navi, your citizenship, and what I hope to show is how these move over the United Kingdom.